They are natural enemies. One is an apex predator designed by nature to hunt and kill. The other is man's best friend, a creature of innocence and play. In the wild, this encounter ends only one way in blood and tragedy. But what happens when an orphan panther, left to die in the cold rain, decides that her only family isn't another cat, but a helpless puppy? This is the unbelievable true story of Luna and Bella, a bond that defied biology, survived death, and proved that love speaks a language older than instinct. You have to see it to believe it, because what happened when the panther grew up shocked everyone. Before we dive into this incredible journey of survival and friendship, make sure you hit that red subscribe button and turn on notifications. We bring you the most touching animal stories from around the globe every single day. If you love animals, like this video right now, to show your support. Let's see if we can get 5,000 likes for Luna and Bella. Now, let's get into the story. It started on a storm-ravaged night in the deep forests of Siberia, where the rain was coming down like sheets of ice, and the wind howled through the trees like a wounded animal inside. A local wildlife sanctuary, a ranger named Alex received a frantic call from a local farmer who had heard strange crying near the edge of the woods. Alex rushed out into the downpour, his flashlight cutting through the darkness until the beam landed on a small, shivering black ball of fur. It was a leopard. Panther cub, barely a week old. Her eyes were squeezed shut and she was cold to the touch. Her mother was nowhere to be found, likely the victim of poachers or a natural accident. Alex scooped the tiny creature up, wrapping her in his jacket against his chest, feeling her faint heartbeat, fluttering like a dying moth. He knew the odds were against her survival without a mother's milk and warmth. Cubs this young almost never make it through the first night. He rushed her back to the sanctuary clinic where the team worked tirelessly to warm her up and feed her specialized formula, but there was a problem deeper than hunger. The little panther, whom they named Luna, was suffering from failure to thrive. She refused the bottle, she would not sleep, and she cried, a heartbreaking sound that echoed through the facility for 3 days. Alex watched as Luna grew weaker, her spirit fading. She was grieving the loss of her mother, and the isolation was killing her faster than the cold ever could. The sanctuary staff were desperate. They tried everything: heating pads, ticking clocks to mimic a heartbeat, soft plush toys, but nothing worked. Luna simply lay in the corner of her pen, staring blankly at the wall, waiting to die. Alex knew he had to do something drastic, something risky. He had a dog at home, a golden retriever mixed puppy named Bella, who was full of life and maternal instinct, even though she was just a baby herself. It was a crazy idea. Introducing a dog to a wildcat is strictly forbidden in most manuals. The pathogens, the instincts, the potential for violence, even from a cub, were high. But looking at Luna's fading frame, Alex decided it was the only card he had left to play. He brought Bella into the clinic on a leash. The room went silent. The vets held their breath, wondering if the panther would hiss or strike out in fear, despite her weakness. Luna lifted her head as Bella trotted in, her tail wagging, creating a rhythmic thumping sound against the floor. Bella didn't see a predator, she saw a friend. She pulled against the leash, sniffing the air and whining softly to get closer. Alex lowered the dog down, and what happened next brought tears to the eyes of everyone in the room. Bella didn't bark or jump. Instead, she crawled forward on her belly, submissive and gentle, and licked the milk dried on Luna's face. Luna froze for a second, her tiny claws extending, but then she let out a long breath and leaned into the warmth of the dog's fur for the first time for days. The panther slept. She slept soundly, wrapped around the puppy's neck like a scarf. This was the beginning of part 1 of their journey, the rescue. But the real challenge was just beginning, because Luna was not a house cat. She was a growing, killing machine, and nature has a way of complicating things. As the weeks turned into months, the dynamic shifted rapidly. Luna grew stronger, her legs getting thicker, her teeth sharper, and her play style more aggressive. Bella was patient. She tolerated the roughhousing, the biting of her ears, and the stalking games. But the sanctuary staff began to worry. A panther grows much faster than a dog and realizes its power quickly. There was a fear that one day Luna's predatory drift would kick in, that she would see Bella not as a sister, but as prey. Alex watched them like a hawk, every single day, ready to intervene at the slightest sign of aggression. One afternoon, when Luna was about 6 months old, the first terrifying moment occurred. Alex had let them out into the large enclosed yard to play. The sun was high, and the grass was tall. Suddenly, Luna went rigid, her yellow eyes locked onto Bella, who was chasing a butterfly across the yard. Luna lowered her body into the classic hunter crouch, her tail twitching, her muscles coiled like springs. Alex put his hand on the gate latch, his heart hammering in his chest. He shouted Luna's name, but she didn't flick an ear. She was locked in. She crept forward, silent as a shadow closing the distance. Bella had no idea she was being hunted. Luna launched herself into the air, a black blur of muscle and claws. Alex screamed, fearing the worst, but as Luna landed, she didn't bite. Instead, she tackled Bella and began grooming, her ears purring so loudly it could be heard from the fence. It was a mock hunt, a game of tag played by 2 different species who had rewritten the rules of engagement. This became their routine. They were inseparable. They ate from the same bowl, they slept in a tangled heap of black and golden fur, and they explored the sanctuary grounds together. But the world is not always safe, and the true test of their bond came in the second year of their companionship, winter. had returned to Siberia, bringing with it deep snow and dangerous wild intruders. The sanctuary fences were high, but nature always finds a way. In late one evening, a pack of wild stray dogs, hungry and aggressive, managed to dig under the perimeter fence of the outer enclosure where Luna and Bella were resting. Luna was now a magnificent creature, sleek and powerful, weighing over 100 pounds. Bella was a fully grown dog, but she was soft, domesticated, and no match for a pack of feral attackers. Alex was in the main house when he heard the commotion, the sound of snarling and yelping that didn't sound like play. He grabbed his rifle and ran out into the snow. What he saw stopped him in his tracks. The stray pack had cornered Bella against a rock wall. They were snapping at her, trying to isolate her. Bella was terrified, tail tucked, barking defensively, but backing away. Then a black shadow erupted from the top of the rocks. It was Luna. She didn't run away from the danger. She didn't hide. She dropped directly between Bella and the pack of 5 snarling dogs. Luna let out a roar that shook the snow from the trees, a primal sound of pure dominance. She swiped her massive paw, sending the lead dog flying into the snowbank. She stood over Bella, her teeth bared, her hackles raised, a demon of the forest protecting her angel. The stray dogs realized instantly they had made a fatal mistake. This was not a dog they were fighting. This was a queen of the jungle. Within seconds, the intruders scrambled back through the hole they had dug, whimpering in fear. Alex arrived breathless to see Luna turning back to Bella, nuzzling her neck, checking for wounds, checking on her sister. Bella licked Luna's nose, her tail giving a small wag. That was the moment Alex knew he never had to worry again. The bond was sealed, not just by affection but by battle. They are 2 years old now, and they are still together. The orphaned Panther, who was supposed to die, found the will to live in the heart of a puppy, and the puppy found a protector in the shadow of a beast. They spend their days hiking through the snow, swimming in the sanctuary lake, and sleeping under the stars, proving to the world that family isn't about whose blood runs in your veins or what species you are born as. Family is about who shows up when you are cold, who stays when you are scared, and who stands in front of you when the wolves come knocking. Their story is a beautiful reminder that in a world full of division, love is the only instinct that truly matters. Today, Luna and Bella are still inseparable, living proof that the strongest families are the ones we choose, not the ones we are born into. They remind us that even the wildest hearts can be tamed by the power of friendship. If Luna and Bella's story touched your heart, please hit that like button. It helps us find more amazing stories just like this one. And here's a challenge for you. If you made it to the end, comment the words Team Luna down below. We will be hearting the best comments. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell so you never miss a moment of the wild. Click the video on your screen right now to see another predator who befriended their prey. You won't believe how that one ends. Thanks for watching, and stay wild.